Olivia's heart woke to the soft glow of her bedside lamp, the one she had accidentally left on while finalizing the last touches of her wedding vows. She blinked against the warm light, sitting up slowly, the silk sheet sliding down her arms. Today wasn't the wedding day, but it was close. Too close. Every part of her life felt suspended between excitement and nerves, like she was walking on the edge of a dream she didn't want to wake from. She reached for her phone first. No missed calls. No messages. Except one from her older brother, Daniel, who lived with her and had practically helped build her entire life. He had texted only 3 words, "We need talk." At first she assumed it was about decorations, or schedules, or maybe the guest list. Daniel could worry about things no one else noticed. But something about the missing "to" in his message felt off. He wasn't the type to make careless mistakes, especially with words. When she stepped into the kitchen, she saw him sitting at the dining table with both hands wrapped around a coffee mug. His shoulders tensed the moment he heard her footsteps. "There you are," he said, trying to smile, but the attempt fell apart before it fully formed. "Morning. What's wrong?" Olivia asked, slipping into the chair across from him. Daniel didn't look at her immediately. His thumb traced the edge of the mug, slow and distracted. "Liv, there's something you need to know." Her heartbeat tightened. "About the wedding?" His jaw clenched. "Not exactly. It's about Mark." Olivia froze. "What about him?" Daniel inhaled sharply. "I don't want to be the one telling you this, but I can't let you walk into a marriage without knowing the truth." Her pulse quickened. "Daniel, you're scaring me." He lifted his eyes to hers. "Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Mark has a child. A son." For a moment, Olivia genuinely believed she must have misheard him. She leaned in, voice barely above a whisper. "A what?" "A son," he repeated quietly. "He's about 4 years old." Olivia's breath caught in her chest, a trembling exhale pushing past her lips. "No. Mark would have told me. He wouldn't hide something that big from me." Daniel swallowed. "I wish that were true." "Where did you even get this?" she demanded, the words coming too fast. "Rumors. Something online." "You know people lie, this is real," he said firmly. "I didn't want to believe it either, so I checked. I talked to someone who knows the woman. They showed me proof." "Proof?" Olivia whispered. Her voice felt foreign in her own throat. Daniel nodded. "Pictures." "Let me see them." Daniel hesitated. He actually hesitated, as if he could wrap his hands around the truth and hide it from her. She stood abruptly, eyes blazing. "Show me. Now." He reached into his pocket, unlocked his phone, and slid it across the table. Olivia picked it up with trembling fingers. The picture on the screen was simple. Mark, younger, casually dressed, holding a baby in his arms. The child's face was round and unmistakably similar to his. The familiarity was impossible to unsee. Her stomach twisted painfully. "This has to be old," she whispered. "It is," Daniel said softly. "Then maybe he just hasn't talked about it. Maybe he was waiting for the right time. Maybe he..." 4 years, Liv, Daniel cut in gently. 4 years is a long time to hide a child. He's had plenty of chances to tell you." Olivia felt her throat close up. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Daniel looked away. "I hoped it wasn't true. I hoped I could spare you this." The betrayal hit her in 2 different directions, one named Mark, and one named Daniel. She pushed her chair back, stepping away from both the table and the truth she didn't want. "I need to talk to him," she said, already heading for the front door. Olivia slowed down, but she didn't. She grabbed her keys, stepped outside, and slammed the door behind her. The drive to Mark's house was short but felt endless, her mind spiraling through denial, anger, fear, confusion. Everything inside her crashed in waves that didn't make sense. When she pulled into his driveway, Mark stepped out of the garage, wiping his hands on a rag. He had been fixing something, humming softly, completely unaware of the storm headed directly toward him. "Hey, babe," he said with a warm smile, but it faltered instantly when he saw her face. "Liv. What happened? Do you have a son?" she asked, her voice flat, cold, unlike anything he'd ever heard from her. His eyes widened. His throat bobbed as if swallowing a stone. Olivia, please. Let's go inside and talk. So you're not denying it? He exhaled, shoulders slumping. Let's go inside. No, she snapped. Say it here. Mark closed his eyes briefly and nodded. Yes. I have a son. The world tilted. The air around her thinned, turning sharp and unbreathable. You lied to me, she whispered. I didn't lie, he said quickly. I just didn't tell you yet. Mark, she said, her voice breaking, we've been together for 2 years. I know, he whispered. And I should have told you earlier. I was scared. I didn't know how you'd react. The mother and I, it was complicated. It ended badly. I didn't want that darkness bleeding into what we have. I didn't want to lose you. You lost me right now, she whispered. Olivia, please. I'm begging you. Don't walk away like this. Let me explain everything. Her heart twisted painfully, but she shook her head. I need time. She walked back to her car, refusing to let herself collapse until she was safely behind the wheel. Mark followed her, calling her name, but she drove off before he could reach her. By the time she returned home, she felt hollowed out, like something inside her had cracked wide open. Daniel was pacing the porch anxiously, and when he saw her, he rushed toward her. Liv, are you okay? She walked past him without a word. He followed her inside. What did he say? She turned to him slowly. He confirmed it. Daniel's face fell, sympathy softening his features. I'm so sorry. She shook her head. You knew. And you kept it from me. Daniel's expression tightened. I didn't know for sure. And I was trying to protect you. That's not your job, she snapped. The hurt on his face was instant and sharp. Liv. I would never intentionally keep something this big from you unless I believed waiting was better. That wasn't your decision to make. Daniel swallowed hard. You're right. Olivia wrapped her arms around herself, suddenly cold. I need space. From both of you. Daniel nodded slowly. Whatever you need. She went upstairs and shut her bedroom door, leaning against it as her eyes filled with tears. The house felt unfamiliar. The wedding dress hanging in the corner felt like a joke now, mocking her with every sparkle of its beads. Hours passed. Afternoon slipped into evening. Olivia didn't move. She stared out the window, replaying every moment of her relationship with Mark. Every laugh. Every promise. Every time he looked her in the eyes and told her there were no secrets between them. A knock sounded at her door. She didn't answer. Liv. Daniel's voice said softly. Can I come in? Silence. He opened the door gently and stepped inside. You don't have to talk, he said. Just listen for a moment. She didn't look at him. I know you're hurting, he said quietly. And I hate that I added to it. If I could take that back, I would. Her voice quivered. Why didn't he trust me enough to tell me? Why didn't you? Daniel exhaled. Sometimes people hide things because they're scared of losing the one good thing they have left. That's not an excuse, she whispered. No, he agreed. But it's human. Olivia's tears spilled over. Everything feels broken. Daniel walked closer but didn't touch her. He respected her distance. You're strong. You'll get through this. You're saying that like you're not part of why I'm hurting. He looked down. I know. And I'm sorry. Night settled quietly over the house. Olivia barely slept, her mind looping through everything over and over again until the sun crept gently through her window the next morning. Mark texted her. Then called. Then called again. She didn't answer. But later that evening, she found him standing outside her house, hands in his pockets, eyes clouded with guilt. Olivia, he said softly when she stepped onto the porch. Please. Let me talk to you. She crossed her arms, bracing herself. Say what you need to say. Mark nodded, swallowing hard. I should have told you. You're right. I was a coward. I thought if I kept the truth separate from us, somehow it wouldn't affect you. But hiding it only made things worse. She stared at him silently. My son deserves a father, he continued. And you deserve honesty. I failed at both. I'm not asking you to forgive me right now. I just want you to know I'm done hiding. From you, from myself, from anything. Olivia's voice was barely audible. Why didn't you trust me? He stepped closer. I was terrified. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I didn't want my past to ruin my future. Her eyes shimmered with tears. It already has. Mark's breath broke. I love you, Olivia. She closed her eyes briefly. I need time, she said again, voice cracking. And I don't know how long. Mark nodded slowly, pain etched deeply into his features. Take all the time you need. He walked away slowly, leaving her standing alone on the porch, the air thick with ache. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, as we continue. Over the next few days, Olivia tried to rebuild herself piece by piece. She met with friends. She took long walks. She journaled every messy thought. Daniel respected her space, leaving meals outside her door, writing apology notes she sometimes read, sometimes didn't. Eventually, Olivia sat down with Daniel at the dining table. Talk, she said simply. Daniel exhaled with relief. Liv. I should have trusted you more. I should have told you right away instead of trying to handle everything myself. Yes, she said quietly. You should have. And I promise, he said softly, I will never keep something like that from you again. She nodded. We'll rebuild. But slowly. He accepted that with a quiet bow of his head. As for Mark, it took even longer for her to face him again. Weeks passed. Healing wasn't clean, it was jagged, unpredictable, exhausting. But one afternoon, Olivia found herself standing outside Mark's house. She didn't know what she was going to say. She didn't know what the future held. She only knew she was ready to hear him, fully, honestly, without the shadow of secrets between them. Mark opened the door, shock and hope flashing through his eyes. Liv, she took a breath. We talk. And we take it one step at a time. He nodded slowly, his voice thick. Anything you want. Olivia didn't know where they would end up. But for the first time in weeks, she felt something steady inside her, strength. Clarity. Control. Because betrayal had cracked her open, but she was the one who chose how she put herself back together. Subscribe to be on the next episode.